This is interesting. Now, in the yard, the Braves, fourth in the major leagues. They got 155 home runs. Max Fried has only given up one home run in 75 innings this year. That's pretty impressive.
Let's check out the defense behind him, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Ramos, Grisham, and Jones in the outfield. McMahon, Lombard, Chisholm, and Garcia third to first. Wells behind the plate. And the Car Shield defensive player profile is on the rookie George Lombard Jr. He's played a couple of games, and he already has 2 defensive runs saved. That's how good he's been. Well, the Braves, 70-45, running away with the National League East, 8.5 games ahead of the Phillies. They've won 8 in a row, and they're 15-5 since the All-Star break. Yankees come in at 64-51. Big crowd here at the stadium. Acuna is ready. Fried is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch grounded to third. Backhanded by McMahon. One away. Home plate umpire is Mark Ripperger. Umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Pitcher friendly. 91 calls have been challenged. 37 overturned, so under 50%. More low strikes, more high strikes on righty batters. Mark's been around for 17 big league seasons. Dan Merzel at first, the crew chief Dan Bellino at second. Derek Thomas is over third. Drake Baldwin up and away. The official time of the delay, 1 hour and 55 minutes. Line into left field, it's a base hit for Baldwin. Cutting over is Elliot Ramos. Flips the ball in the Lombard, so Baldwin with a 1-out single.
Well, Baldwin has had some kind of year. He was Rookie of the Year last year, but All-Star game this year, I mean, to stay in there and lace one off Max Fried, I mean, he's going to be DH and probably a lot more now that Murphy is back, but a solid hitter.
Albies takes up and in. Albies did not have a great year last year. 16 home runs. He already has 19. Inside. The Braves have had an up and down year. First 66 games, 45-21. They had a 9.5 game lead. Next 31, they were 11-20. The lead got down to 2. Last 18, 14-4, and the lead is up to 8.5.
Been a streaky year when you look at it.
Yeah.
You look at the Red Sox. You look at the Philadelphia when they brought Mattingly in. You look at Atlanta. There's been some long winning streaks, and then the teams turn around and go through long losing streaks.
Now the Braves, at the trade deadline, they were looking for a big-time starter. They inquired about Jacob deGrom, and deGrom did not want to waive his no-trade clause to lead the Rangers. They checked in on Tarek Skubal as well, and the best they got was the guy who's on the mound for them, Tyler Mahle. And it's funny because they wanted to pair another great starter with Chris Sale if they get into the postseason, have those two.
Well,
but Paul, their pitching's been good.
Yeah, but their fan base really questioned it because if you look at their everyday lineup, I mean, they were solid as good as anybody. And if you threw a #1 pitcher in there, you could compete with anybody.
Yep.
And but a lot has to do with what pieces you have to trade. And if you look at what they had to trade in the minor leagues, they didn't have a lot of gems to deal out.
There's Matt Olson. 0-1.
Matt Olson, pretty much as good as it gets at first base. Gold Glover, tons of power, plays every single day. I mean, he just does everything for the Atlanta Braves. This is his 898th consecutive game, which is the 8th longest streak of all time.
Cooking up something special with HexClad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Having another good season. You replace Freddie Freeman with Matt Olson. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's kind of an even trade. And Olsen, well, you look back a couple years ago, he had 54 home runs and 139, which led all the majors. I mean, he, like I said, offensively solid, Gold Glover, 3-time Gold Glover, including last year. So he's the real deal at first base.
Of his 32 home runs, 12 have come against left-handed pitching. Popped up. Fried's going after it, but he's called off by McMahon.
I know Fried's an ex-Gold Glover, but, you know, McMahon's pretty good now. You can tell the guys that really want the ball, and Fried is a great fielder. But, you know, an easy fly ball, they always just tell the pitchers, you know, just get out of the way.
Here is Mauricio Dubon. Plays all over the place. Good guy to have on a team. Had 4 hits last night against the Marlins. Michael Harris II is on the bench, so he's getting a start in center. So that was called a strike. It's going to be challenged. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Got it right.
The ball. Atlanta has 2 challenges remaining.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Baldwin will score. Albies goes to third. The throw got him. And they're pointing to see if that run scored, which I believe it did. But a good throw by Grisham to get Albies trying to go to third.
Yeah, Grisham gets to the ball well, and he's hit a good angle to make a good solid throw to third. A nice short hop. Easy play, but the run scored on the 2-out hit.
So the inning ends with an out on the bases, but a run does score, and the Yankees are coming to bat. Well, not too fast, because the Yankees are challenging that the run scored before the out was applied at third. And from the replays they've seen, they look like they have a point. The run has to score before this tag is made. So take a look from this angle. There's the tag, and the foot is not on home plate.
That's amazing, Mike. I didn't even think this was close. I thought he was already through the plate.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The runner did not cross home plate before the out at third base. Therefore, New York will retain its challenge, and the run is removed from the scoreboard.
That's even a bigger and better throw by Grisham.
Yeah, that's enormous. That is an enormous call. Heads up, pick up by the Yankees and Brett Weber in the replay room. And this is the perfect one. Boom, tag, and the foot's up in the air before it hits home plate.
Yeah, you always have to remember with 2 outs, runner at second base, if you've got trailing runners, you've got to sprint through home plate, because this is what can happen.
Let's look at the Yankee lineup. Grisham, Rice, and Ramos at the top. Garcia, Chisholm, and Jones, who will bat in the 6th hole and play right field. And then it's Lombard, McMahon, and Wells. And they'll be facing the 31-year-old right-hander, Tyler Mahle. 3-9 with a 5.13 ERA. You see the numbers. Let's check out the Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report, Paul.
Well, first time also. I got away with the same on both pitchers. After coming over the trade deadline for the Giants, this is his first outing for the Braves. See how that goes. And better lately. He really got off to a tough start. First 11 starts, 6.04 ERA. His last 7 been below 4. So he's been very solid recently. And, you know, let's just face it, they needed help. The Braves needed help in the starting rotations. There's so many questions after Chris Sale in the pitching staff. So they were trying to bring in a big-name pitcher. They brought in one they thought could give him innings, give him an opportunity to win.
Let's take a look at the defense behind them, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Thomas, Dubon, and Acuna left to right in the outfield. Then you've got Riley, Kim, Albies, and Olsen, third to first. Sean Murphy behind the plate. Drake Baldwin, the DH.
Did you see that view that we had on that? They didn't have to go to a separate replay. It showed it so well. The tag at third base.
Perfect shot. Good shot by our crew. and the run does not count. So Atlanta puts up a 0 on the top of the first. Now the Yankees start off with Grisham against Malley. No way around it. Grisham has really been struggling. He's 8 for his last 71 over 20 games. That's 113. He was 3 for 14 in the St. Louis series. And a strike.
You see Malley all the way on the first base side of the rubber, and it kind of deceives the hitter. It has a way to give him an angle to where he wants to get the ball. This ball pops straight up.
Olsen makes the call. Now Malley was there waiting for somebody to call him off, and finally it was Olsen who did it.
Well, you got Trent Grisham and Ben Rice kind of struggling at the same time, where, you know, if they kind of turn it around, all of a sudden the top of your order gets hot again. It makes things so much easier to score runs.
Ben 2 for his last 29. He was 0 for 8 against the Cardinals. Ben's been sitting at 31 home runs for the last 10 games, sitting at 73 ribbies for the last 9 games. Oh, 2.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, when you start slumping a little bit, it just gets in your head. It's almost like you're trying to guess pitches, and you see those first 2 pitches, 2 fastballs right there, and you know, just freeze on it, which means you're really not relaxed to the point where you're just seeing the ball and adjusting to it.
Atlanta starters have been outstanding since July 22nd. 15 games. They've allowed no more than 3 runs in any of those games.
Something about the Atlanta Braves, it always comes down to pitching. But if you look at their everyday lineup, like we said earlier, I mean, it matches up very well with anybody in baseball.
They have a new pitching coach this year. That's Jeremy Hefner, who was not retained by the Mets. Very well respected pitching coach. He's done a great job with the Braves despite so many injuries to their starters. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rice down on strikes.
And when you start breaking down tough at bats, you take a couple down the middle and then you swing one off the plate away. So it just, you know, you're thinking a lot and you're trying to force things to happen. You know, when things are going well, you go up there, you just see the ball and you react to it so easily. When you start, you know, muddying the waters upstairs, you just think too much.
Ramos takes outside. The 2-0. 3-0 on Ramos. So the Yankees 2 acquisitions at the trade deadline. 3-4 in the Yankee order. Ramos and then Garcia. And a strike.
Well, Michael, we've seen this approach ever since Ramos really stepped foot here the other night for his first game, is trying to hit the ball the other way. Tremendous power the other way to right center. Keeps him on the ball a little bit longer.
Got some swag. That's like Andrew McCutchen when he used to walk. That was a bat flip like he hit a home run.
That had a little torque to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that a little somersault from that bat. Wow.
I'd like him to face Jeffrey Yan of the Mets. See how that works out. Garcia takes outside. One and one.
You see, not overpowering. 93. He was a slider, a splitty. I mean, he's got 5 or 6 pitches, but knows how to pitch. Been around the game a long time. And he's one of those guys that, you know, gives you innings, and that's what organizations are looking for.
Right back to Malley. Takes you out at first, and that'll do it. Yankee Strand 1. We played 1 here in the Bronx. The rain is gone. Baseball on your screen.
Long day.
Shop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Yankees, the official source for your Yankees gear. Lane Thomas swings and misses as we start the second here in the Bronx. Thank you for hanging with us here on Yes through the rain delay, and great work by Bob Lorenz, Adam Ottavino, and Todd Frazier, giving you all the info and the stories. Great stuff by them, so thank you very much.
One of the nastiest storms I saw come in here. I've never seen the flags and the poles and stuff blow like they were around 6:30.
Swing and a miss. Thomas down on strikes.
Well, Max Fried knows what he's doing. He kind of reads the at bat. Got the ball by him up in the strike zone. See the barrel underneath.
Riley swings and misses. What Paul's talking about.
I mean, this was ridiculous. This is when we were talking, Michael. You think the game's going to start on time?
You know, when they start rolling the tarp out at like 10-6, kind of a good clue.
I used to like Danny Cunningham. This week has not been good for me and him.
And here's the time lapse. It came in hard and heavy. And the field looks like it's in great shape. Inside. I loved when you played because they would dump all of the water in right field.
Everything like it didn't. I guess
like you didn't even matter.
I figured that I couldn't play out there anyway, so who cares? Just throw it out there. Ever since Little League, the right fielders have just been, you know, kind of dissed. It's just the way it is.
As long as Bernie had good footing, that's all they care about. Bernie's going to be here tomorrow during Old Timers Day. Looking forward to seeing all the guys.
Must be hot and sunny, right?
Yep.
Won't take long to get loose, if it ever happened. Getting loose.
You're still having trouble with your wing, right?
Oh, it's shot.
It's gone.
It's shot. Yeah. I hope there's no play at the plate tomorrow because it's not happening.
Well, but you've tried the kick move. That works.
You know what? I got a lot of publicity about that.
That's
so
right.
I got to bring that out again.
It's in your baseball reference page. Kicks right-footed. Popped up. Who's going to get it? Wells. Wells runs out of room and then takes some steps into the Braves dugout.
Yeah, you seldom get much help over there in the visitors' dugout, Michael.
The tough business.
Mm-hmm.
He slowed down enough to actually navigate the steps.
Well, the good thing is he kept his gear on and his helmet. So if you take a header into the bat rack, you got a helmet on.
Foul ball. Wells could not hold on.
That's his most used pitch, is that cutter, especially the righties. That's why it's so important now. You got Lombard at short, and you've got McMahon on the left side of the infield to field the ground balls on those cutters down and in, and on the hands of right-handed hitters.
And Riley works a walk. That second walk issued by Fried. And that'll bring up Sean Murphy. Murphy came off the IL on Wednesday. Now, he had season-ending surgery on his right hip last September. Didn't start the season until early May. And Paul, in his fourth game back, he broke his left middle finger on catcher's interference, and then he was out for 3 months. So he's itching to play baseball.
Yeah, it's like one thing leads to another. You finally get back, you're ready to go, and then as a catcher, obviously weird things happen. You know, you break a finger and probably could play through it, but you just can't hit through it.
One and one.
I think Max Fried having a little problem with the grip. He keeps looking at his hand on those four-seamers. He's kind of lost up in the strike zone.
And you worry because, you know, he had some blister issues last year. And when it's humid out, sometimes that does happen. Getting a lot of swings and misses, 1 and 2. Braves are a good offensive team. They score 4.94 runs per game. That's 6th in the big leagues. As a team, they hit 250. That's 7th in the big leagues. And they have 155 home runs. That's 4th in the big leagues. And only 2 teams in baseball slug better than they do at 421. So their offense is pretty legit. And that's a lot of that without Ronald Acuna Jr.
Right.
Three-time Gold Glove winner, Max Fried. Pickoff is part of the arsenal. And the Braves know it as well as anybody. He didn't even have that big a lead, and he had to stumble back.
Yeah, I mean, you see Max Fried kind of hesitate. He slows the leg kick down where he could go either way to first base or home. And it's just very frustrating as a base runner. You get leaning one way, and all of a sudden that leg comes over, and it's a snap throw and gets you.
Nice run over twice, so if he goes again, he's got to pick him off.
You see much quicker there, knowing that Fried just quickened up the motion. And that cut fastball, this one up in the strike zone, and Murphy underneath it.
Here's Ha-Seong Kim. Now I've got a trivia question for you that you can, I know you go to a lot of cocktail parties with Neville.
Yes.
Do you know that Max Fried in 2021 received the last Silver Slugger award for a pitcher ever?
Oh, really? So I should keep
after that, DH.
That's right. So I keep that in my holster.
Yeah, if you want to start a conversation with somebody, sidle up to them, you got a glass of wine and go, you know, the last pitcher.
Yeah. Last time I played this game with you, I had all the wrong answers in Texas. One of my friends sent me a trivia, and to this day I laugh. I was like, that was really nice of you. And you called me out on the air. I said, wait a minute, this is my game. I'll play it the way we want, right?
Yeah, with bad answers.
Wrong answers, not just bad.
1-1. Friedman's a pretty good hitter, and he's an outstanding fielder. Fried pitched in 168 games for the Braves, made 151 starts. He was with them from 2017 through 2024, 2 All-Star appearances, 3 straight Gold Gloves, and then he left as a free agent to sign with the Yanks. And his biggest moment as a Brave, Game 6, 6 shutout innings in the World Series against Houston in a game that they won 7-0 to give them the title. 1-2. Just missed. Backdoor breaking ball.
It's really the big overhand curve. First one he's thrown tonight. Just trying to full kip.
Three and 2 on the number 9 hitter in the order with Acuna on deck. There's Max's Braves resume. And that's a ball. They were not holding on. Riley with 3-2. He's going anyway. Garcia was playing behind him, and it was not articulated to Max Fried. So that's a balk.
Michael, have you ever heard of this? And you see that Max Fried figured, you get him running, might get him, but he's got that first baseman there.
And he has to tell the pitcher.
Hai-Sung Kim, right, was designated for assignment. And they got him off waivers last year, which means lucky to have a job, right? Signed for $20 million this year.
Not a bad job. Popped up. Fried's backing up. He's called off there by Lombard and makes the play for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 0-0.
Welcome back. Yankees and Braves are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. Tomorrow, Carlos Rodon is set to make his first rehab start in Scranton. He's expected to throw about 50 pitches in that one. It'll be the first time Rodon is on the mound in nearly 6 weeks. When asked how many rehab starts he thinks he will need before being able to come back, he said he's not exactly sure. But guys, Aaron Boone had said that it could be a similar situation to what they did with Max Fried, not having him completely stretched out before he comes back up here and gets in a major league game, either piggybacking him with another pitcher or just relying heavily on the bullpen. They'll assess how tomorrow goes and how Rodon is feeling and then make a determination from there. But a big step for Rodon tomorrow.
And that's tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. I don't know if you realize this, Paul, during the torrential downpour, Meredith refused to relinquish her post. She stayed there in the pouring rain.
That's right.
Yeah, and then she dried off afterward, but that's a gamer. That's a gamer right there.
Not everybody would do that.
No, I wouldn't. Line foul. Hey, play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Jazz Chisholm Jr. plus 450. And the guy following him, Spencer Jones, also plus 450. Two and 2. So Jazz 1 for 9 against the Cardinals, and he's 3 for his last 28. He has 17 home runs, which is the most for an American League second baseman, but he has not had the season he wants to have.
I think what he's told the world he was going 50-50 this year. That's lofty goals to put on yourself coming into the year, right?
2-2. Swing and a miss. Take a look at this play that resulted in a rare balk for Fried.
Yeah,
and then in the dugout, you know what? They talked with Garcia. You've got to tell the pitcher I'm playing behind.
Right, and I think Aaron Boone was saying, hey, you know what? Not with Max. You've got to go late because he got such a good move that you might trick him and get a pickoff move.
So here's Spencer Jones. 1-0. Spencer hitless in his last 15 at bats. And Paul, when you look up and down the order, there's so much of that. It's so tough for the Yankees to score runs.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of guys that are kind of hit or miss, and if they're on, they're capable of hitting home runs and doing a lot of things. But you're going to have to find out, you know, throughout your lineup, you've got to have some consistency in there, and that's some contact hitters, some guys with speed that, you know, can score on doubles, steal bases, and kind of manufacture runs.
You know, the worst thing about it is they're getting extraordinary pitching.
Yeah.
And they're keeping their head above water. They're playing over 500 for an extended period, but it could be so much more if they could score more than 3 runs a game, more than 2 runs a game.
Yeah, you had that one through the rotation where not one guy gave up more than 2 runs. I mean, that could be an easily a 5-game winning streak when you're in Chicago, and it didn't turn out that way.
Fly ball left field. Lane Thomas. 2 outs. And that's going to bring up George Lombard Jr. In the minors, you see the numbers up here, 2 for 6. A home run and a single, and a couple of terrific plays defensively at shortstop.
I'm anxious to see how the Braves pitch him, because the Cardinals, it was all curveballs off speed early in the count, and then fastballs in on his hands or out of the strike zone. Molly started him off with a heater, though.
This lead, they scout quickly, Paul. They're going to find things right away, and it's up to the player to adjust. Hit sharply to shortstop. Kim is there. And he gets Lombard for the final out as the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the 3rd. Segment that we like to call,
how about that?
About Ronald Acuna Jr. He grew up, made baseball rolled up newspapers wrapped in tape, often begging his mother for tape money. Wears number 13 in honor of his father, Ronald Sr., who played 8 minor league seasons as an outfielder. Now, after breaking Mickey Mantle's record as the youngest player to hit a postseason grand slam, he admitted he didn't know who Mantle was. Quote, "I wasn't even born then." That is one of my least favorite things that young players say. Because I wasn't born during the Civil War. I kind of know what happened, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. I mean, you have to know the history of the game. You just, I'll never forget, Davey Concepcion came in our clubhouse in spring training, and he wanted to meet Jeter. Jeter was just starting, and when we left his locker, Davey said, he doesn't even know who I am. And I said, oh, sure he does. And I went back. I said, gee, you didn't know who that is? He's like, no.
Right.
Like it's just very surprising, because, you know, I grew up as a baseball fan, and was I born in the 50s? No, but I know who Hank Aaron was, and I enjoyed watching him play at the end of his career, you know.
I remember when Don Mattingly first came here, he didn't know who Lou Gehrig was.
Wow.
And the only way, that one's lined to left field, it's a base hit. The only way that it can be explained, although, you know, you seem to be fine with it, if you're of a Major League Baseball quality, you probably played all the time. You weren't reading books on baseball. You weren't reading about baseball history, and you just learned how to be a big leaguer. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, there is something about the history, and there's something about this guy right here that's going to make history if he can stay healthy. I mean, he is talented is anybody in the game. And it's amazing to me that, you know, guys with this much talent just somehow, some way can't figure out how to stay on the field all the time. But you see it a lot. I mean, look at Mike Trout the last, 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Byron Buxton, he's very comparable. Him, just unbelievable.
Oh,
good
look
friends
at that.
over there too, huh?
Very friendly. Baldwin fouls it away. Braves with 3 hits against Fried. Late in the ground ball foul. So Acuna having some fun with Garcia. Got me a little history there. Swing and a miss. Baldwin down on strikes. Third strikeout.
Baldwin took him the other way last time. He tried to squirt one there this time. And then, so what do? You just throw a big old slider. Get him around the ball where he can't stay inside and go the other way.
Here's Albies. Ground ball, Lombard. 1, 2. 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the third here at the stadium. Lombard starts the 6-4-3, and we will go to the bottom of the third, 0-0. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. By your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. You know who they traded Roberto Kelly for?
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Good player, too.
Gary Sheffield played for both teams. We're here at the stadium after an hour and 55-minute rain delay at the start. We're playing baseball, bottom of the third, 0-0. Ryan McMahon will start it off against Tyler Malley. 1-0. So the Yankees and the Braves, since 1990, they are the 2 winningest teams in all of baseball. Yankees are first and the Braves are second. Yankees with a .571 winning percentage since that time. Braves .558. So the 2 winningest franchises in baseball combined for 6,518 wins, 37 division titles, 14 pennants, and 7 World Series. Now, 2 of the Yankee World Series during that time came against the Braves in '96 and again in '99.
I was looking at some of the history of the World Series. Was it back in the 50s? Where, I mean, you had Whitey Ford and Yogi Berra, and you had Eddie Matthews and Warren Spahn. I mean, there were some big-name people on these organizations going at it in the World Series.
And the Yankees and the Milwaukee Braves played in '57 and '58. They split those 2, and then the Yankees beat the Atlanta Braves, as I mentioned, in '96 and '99. When you looked at the Braves, they seem to be in the World Series all the time, and everyone thought that they were going to win so many more. And during that time of greatness, they just won 1.
Yeah, you know, there's some times where you look at organizations, the Hall of Famers involved on that team, and with 1 world championship, it really doesn't add up. I mean, you would assume that you would have more. You had Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, Chipper Jones. I mean, Andrew Jones now. I mean, you just had so many great players and a great pitching staff, and they just didn't seal the deal every year.
Well, you know what they didn't have? Mariano Rivera.
Didn't have Mo, no.
And that's a walk for McMahon. That'll bring up Austin Wells. Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Wells hitting one or more home runs, plus 500. Ball very quietly over the last 12 games. He's the hottest Yankee.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat better. I still find him like guessing at pitches once in a while. You know, you'll take a fastball right down the middle in certain spots. It just, to me, think catchers sometimes guess along with the pitchers a little bit more than other players.
8 for 27, 296, 12 games, 406 on base percentage. And you wonder, was there a weight lifted off his shoulders when the Yankees didn't make a deal for a catcher?
I'm sure that there was a relief, but you know, you still come to the ballpark, and believe me, those numbers on the scoreboard, they stare at you every day, and you know what you're doing, and you know when you go home that you're not where you want to be at this point of the year. It takes a lot to be able to block that out and realize, hey, you know what, can I finish strong? Because you're never going to catch up with the goals that you had coming in open today.
Two and two on Wells.
You know, those are aggressive swings, though. Good, solid split fingers, but aggressive swings, which, you know, is a good sign as a hitter that you know, you're putting a swing on. If you do make contact, you got to do something with it. Sometimes you know, when you get into slumps, you kind of feel for the ball, and you know, you hit the 14 hopper the other way, just kind of aiming the bat.
Three and two on Wells. So Malley's already walked two. Walked the leadoff guy here in the third. That's McMahon. He's at first. Held by Olsen.
McMahon only 3 stolen bases, and with Wells, you know, you've got to sit still there. Again, after the split fingers, you just get locked up on a fastball. So, you know, you got to get back to square one. Look at your strength, and that's fastballs, and kind of adjust to them. And you cannot change within the at bat.
I mean, you've taught me this over the years. You weren't a guesser as a hitter, but if you're going to guess, you guess up to 2 strikes. At 2 strikes, you got to sit fastball and react.
Yeah, at 2 strikes, that little box that we show on the screen, you've got to cover anything in that box.
Yep.
and try to do something with it. And, you know, I always found it easier to start up the middle and work from there. You know, the inside pitch, you'll turn. The outside pitch, you go the other way, and down the middle, you're right back at the pitcher. And it sounds so easy. But it always works to stay up the middle and work from there.
Line down the right field line. Foul. But it's awfully hard for the layman to grasp. Well, how do you take a fastball with 2 strikes?
You know, sometimes it's hard for anybody to grasp. And that's where I think that analytics and guessing sometimes go against you. And some people, don't get me wrong, are very good at it. But if you can't hit a fastball, I mean, a fastball is what you want as a hitter.
Right.
If you just let it go, you're guessing something else or you're expecting something else, and that's not a good way to hit.
I mean, there's such high velocity in the game, but still, what do you see more pitching staffs do? They throw off-speed pitches because everybody should be able to hit a fastball.
Yes.
No matter how fast it is. So 1-2 count on Grisham, who popped up to first in the first. No. 2-2. So far, a pretty good debut in a Braves uniform for Tyler Mahle. Chasing McMahon back. McMahon has 3 stolen bases. And down goes Grisham.
Well, he gets good movement away with that fastball, and it kind of just runs away from Grissom.
Skied the other way, out of play. Oh, 0-2 on Rice. Rice struck out in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the third. It's 0-0. The Yankees against the Braves. Even with the lack of hitting since July 8th, the Yankees are 14-9, which, over a full season is a 99-win pace. And down goes Rice on the splitter. So 3 strikeouts in the inning from Alley, as the Yankees strand 1 on a Friday night, 0-0. Matt Olson with 32 home runs. We take a look at the exit velocity on all of them, presented by Spectrum. Average exit velocity 106. We've gone from foul line to foul line. He's quite a hitter, and he'll lead off here against Fried to start the 4th. Olson fouled out to McMahon in the first. Take a look at the home run leaders, brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Leading is Alvarez, who's had some year. Schwarber, Goodman, Caminero, Olson, and Rice. We mentioned the Yankees have played well since July 8th, but the Red Sox are doing something that's really never been done before. They won again tonight, Paul. They're on one of the greatest runs you'll ever see. When the Yankees got swept by them at Fenway Park, I mean, that was an angry Boston fan base. They hated the GM. They wanted the owner to sell the team. And since then, it seems like they never lose.
Yeah, if the playoffs were to start right now, they'd be an extremely dangerous team to play. And it's so weird to me when I watch their games at all. They're a different team than the past Red Sox. I mean, they're bunting, they're hitting and running, they're stealing bases, and they have great pitching. And it used to be the Red Sox would just outslug everybody at Fenway, but that's not the case anymore.
And one thing that should be noted, they're doing this without one of the best pitchers in baseball, Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
And probably their best player, Roman Anthony. And somehow they put together this run that's extraordinary.
Yeah, Tracy's done a great job by coming in there, taking over as a manager, and really changed everything this team was doing.
High fly ball. Jones is there. Well, when you look at the schedule down the stretch, Yankees still have 4 games against the Red Sox right here. And then they have 4 games against Tampa Bay also here. But with their win tonight, they're now in a dead heat. And the Yankees obviously have to finish this game. But the Red Sox were 15 games back of the Yankees. And now they have the same amount of losses at 51.
Out of those 4 games against each team, isn't there a doubleheader included in both of the series?
Yep.
A lot of important games still to come, Michael. That's why this time of the year, especially after the trade deadline, is you get your group of guys together. This is it. This is how we're going to make it. we're not going to make it. And it makes it kind of puts your mind at ease. You look around, and now you know what type of team you are. And if you're the Yankees, you got to look at your starting pitching. You shored up your defense to some point, and now you got to figure out where to get offense. And if you do that at the right time, you could run away this whole thing. You could win the East. You could go into the playoffs with this pitching and match up to anybody.
Fly ball right center. There is Grisham. Now Olsen and Fried, obviously ex-teammates, and Olsen had something to say to him, and a little grin there by Max.
He just missed that ball too. Fried to throw a breaking ball, and it just right at the end. You watch how far he keeps his how far he keeps his hands away from his body, so he's kind of already cleared that path for him to get the bat head out.
Dunked right side, foul ball. Ball's untouched. Thomas struck out in the second against Max Fried. Fried, 55 pitches. And the count is 0-2. Check out the Old Spice Fresh stats. Since 2025, he has the third best ERA in the American League at 2.90. He was a horse for the Yankees last year when they lost Garrett Cole. He's one of the reasons they had 94 wins, tied with the Blue Jays for the most in the American League. And down goes Thomas. Strikeout for Fried. The Braves go down in order, and we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Elliot Ramos leads off the bottom of the fourth. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard, 0-0. Yankees looking for their first hit. They've walked twice against Mahle in his first start with the Braves since being traded. 1-1. Ramos was one of those walks with 2 outs in the first inning.
Only imagine, Michael. I was traded one time to the Yankees, but it was in the offseason, so everything started at the beginning of the season. You know, so much goes around your family, your travel, your home, you know, where you're comfortable. You're trading in the middle of the season like this.
Oh, it's ripped into right center field. It's going to split the outfielders and go to the wall. Ramos is going for 2. And the throw is cut off by Albie. So a leadoff double. First hit for the Yanks.
Yeah, he was delightful to talk to the other day down in the tunnel. So happy to be here, and I'm really, really impressed with his ability to go the other way. I mean, that pitch right there is nothing but a ground out to shortstop if you try to pull it. But laced into right center field, leadoff double. See how his hands stay inside. And it doesn't allow him to kind of roll over that pitch away, which is such a good way and a great approach to that ball away. What I was saying, Michael, I mean, being comfortable as a player has so much to do with.
Let's see if that stays in play, and it does. Nice play by Riley.
Riley almost stayed out of play, but he did. You got to figure, Mahle's staying in a hotel. His family might not even be with him. And, you know, you're on the road now for the rest of the year, so you're not going to buy a home. As you see Riley go over there, nice play going into the dugout. Nowhere to help.
And almost literally going into the dugout. See, now that play right there, Paul, I don't know if I'm being too hard on this, but you're having trouble scoring runs. There's a runner on second base. You got to move him to third.
Yeah, I mean, to go the other way,
Popped up by Chisholm. Albies puts it away.
You know, there's that term of unproductive outs, and you know it can incorporate a lot of different things. But you know, first pitch swinging, hitting a fly ball to the left side, that's a total different approach. You've got to get the ball to the right side somehow, some way.
And I know he's the cleanup hitter, but okay, drive the ball to right field.
Yeah.
And if you make it out, at least the runner moves over.
Absolutely. We're calling him out, Michael. It's just the way it is.
I mean, you got to score runs, right? Swing and a miss. Spencer Jones, 0-1.
You know, there were times where, you know, Joe Torre would say, hey, I want you to drive this run in. But unless that was said between the manager and the player, I mean, you had a job. And whether it was, you know, drag bunt it, pull it, anything, roll over, any way you can. Your first approach to the at-bat was hit the ball to the right side.
And you see how the offense has been struggling since June 194.
Now, these are the thing, and if you're not going to hit home runs, you've got to be able to plate runs with, you know, base hits with runners in scoring position. And Michael, you went in the pregame. That part of the game has just not been there for the Yankees.
Nope. Two and two.
Mike, I've said this many times, and I don't know how this at-bat's going to end up, but that pitch right there, you got to put in play because, you know, that was a great pitch and hit. Fastball right down the middle of the plate. Now you've given him an opportunity to make a pitcher's pitch.
2-2. Driven into center field. Deep. Dubon back on the track. At the wall. Leaps and makes the play. Wouldn't have gone, but it would have been an extra base hit and a run. Dubon, a very good defender, goes back, times his leap, and comes down right at the 408-foot sign, taking an RBI away from Jones. Double. Dubon closing it out with a really nice play in center field, taking an extra base hit away from Spencer Jones. Austin Riley rips one to left, but foul.
Well, you look at Dubon, and he gets back. And he's a double Gold Glove winner at the utility spot back in 23 and 25, and that just goes to show, you know, he's not a true center fielder, but he's a good center fielder. I mean, that's a great play to save a run.
And with the acquisition of Lane Thomas, he's back to being a super utility guy. He'll play all over the place, and he plays well. And that was not an easy play, Paul.
No, I mean, when you've got to go a long way, it looks so easy on the replay because everything's kind of slowed down. That play happens so fast, and, you know, the ball is beating you to the wall. You got to get there, time your jump, know where the wall is. Well done.
1-2. Strike three. Riley down looking.
As we talk, I mean, Max Fried is putting together a gem here after the run did not score. They haven't had an opportunity to score since. He's got that cutter working, the fastball, and he's starting to mix that curve in a little bit.
5 strikeouts for Fried. Murphy rips one. Oh, what a play by McMahon. Gets to his feet, fires. The throw comes off the bag, Garcia, but the sweep tag, he gets Murphy. He took an extra base hit on the play. Then the throw was a little off, but Garcia turned it into an out.
You know, defense is so important in close games and well-pitched games. I mean, McMahon is as good as it gets, and we've seen the left side of the infield since Lombard's been called up just make some amazing plays. And he's making it so much easier for the pitchers to get through innings.
Now, one thing you can always guarantee, at least I think so, maybe I'm wrong, you can have Randy Johnson on the opposing team, and if Max Fried is starting, Ryan McMahon's playing third base.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's about the cutter that he loves to use. And that ball's not just hit hard. It's got a little top spin on it. So you've got to gauge it as you're diving on how big of a hop you're going to get rid of it quick. Strong enough throw where Garcia has an opportunity to get off the bag and make the tag. Just a great play.
Also, Garcia's played pretty good first base.
He really has. He turned a double play the other day. A hard hit ball right at him. He picked it. So, he got a bad rap at his defense at second base. But so far at first, he's been very good.
1-2 on Kim. The 1-2. And the 2-2. Foul ball. Another foul ball. About to throw his 70th pitch. Another foul ball. So making Fried work.
Well, you look at Kim, and he's 30 years old, came over from Korea. We talked about he signed a big contract after being designated for assignment. You look back at 2023, 17 home runs, 38 stolen bases, and a Gold Glove. So, I mean, he is a solid player. He just had a horrific year offensively, hitting .068. That's hard to do, Michael.
6 strikeout for Max Fried. 6 Yankee strikeout brought to you by your local Tri-State Audi dealers. Kim down looking. Strikeout number 6. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. A little cooler here in New York. It was hot and humid before the storm hit. We have baseball going into the bottom of the 5th inning on the Audi scoreboard, 0-0. And there's a strike to George Lombard Jr.
What is Friday night, Michael? People don't have to get up for work.
That's right.
Stay up a little bit later.
Yep.
Glad you could join us, Michael.
I'm glad too.
Yeah. You know, every time you go away, Michael, you just take a little piece of me with you. You know?
That's just beautiful.
It's kind of like a song I heard today.
I was watching every game, and I said, Paul doesn't even miss me. He really digs Ruben.
No, folks, believe it. I got a text in the middle of the game, miss me? I'm like, wow, of course.
We've known each other about,
100 years.
Almost 40 years.
Yeah.
I'm very needy.
Yeah.
I think you know that. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Lombard down on strikes. So Ryan McMahon coming up, and we look at the defender dynamic performer. What a play, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of plays save runs. And in 0-0 games, you save runs. You got to give you your opportunity to win. Super play by McMahon.
You know who saved a run today that doesn't get a dynamic performer?
Who's that?
Our director, Dan Barr. His shot from left field showed that the Braves did not score before the tag was out at third.
I've never seen a challenge where you didn't have to go to different replays. That was just like the perfect shot.
That was a perfect shot, and he lined it up, and boom, they took the run off the board, and it's still 0-0.
All right, Dan, you've done your work. You can go home.
No, he's got more to do.
No.
More to do.
Do something that good. I mean, look at that.
Look at that. Foot in the air, tag made. I mean, there's no question.
No.
Job by our entire crew. Amazing. There's a base hit to right field. Acuna will dig it out of the corner. McMahon will go to second with a double.
I've really noticed recently, because I hadn't done games in a while, that McMahon's hands are a little bit higher, a little bit where he's not wrapping his bat, and he's much quicker to the baseball. I talked to him in the clubhouse the other day. He said, yeah, I feel a lot better. And it was all about, you start to wrap those hands and you kind of pull your swing, where right now it looks like he's going straight to the ball. He's had a lot better swings in this like week or so.
There's Wells. Wells struck out looking at a fastball in the third inning.
Well, again, these are the at-bats, Michael, we've gone over that the Yankees have got to figure out a way, change your approach, realize, this is a great opportunity. Men in scoring position, this is where the Yankees are going to have to get better with well-pitched games. You tack on a run, you give me an opportunity for Max Fried to continue to throw well. And the bullpens of both teams, Atlanta is as good. I think they're third in baseball. The Yankees are just ahead of them. So two good bullpens and two good starts so far.
1-2 on Wells. Still 1-2. Well, through May, the Yankees hit .270 with runners in scoring position. Since the beginning of June, it's .194. Only the Reds have a lower average of .192. High fly ball, center field. Catch is made, 2 down.
O'Malley doing a good job of showing enough fastballs and then getting hitters out in front, which he did on Wells there with a changeup with 2 strikes. Just keeping the ball off the barrel of the bat.
So here's Grisham. He's 0 for 2. Popped the first and struck out. McMahon leads off second. 1-0. Braves got Malley from the Giants for right-handed pitcher Anthony Molina. You see the infield defense alignment with Kim shaded up the middle for the lefty swinging Grisham. 1-1. Now, we told you earlier the Braves did go big game hunting and trying to get another starter, and they made a run at Jacob deGrom. But deGrom did not want to waive his no trade clause. When you negotiate that, you negotiate it for a reason, and he wanted to stay in Texas. Pop foul behind the plate and out of play. over what they're going to do in the 6th inning. Fried would like to work with a lead. One, two. Strike 3, and it's going to be challenged by Grisham. So ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if it's a ball.
Yeah, this ball was sinking away. It was an off-speed pitch, change-up. It looked like it got off the plate.
The strike. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
The Yankees leave another runner in scoring position. We'll go to the 6th. Thank you, Bob. And 32-5 since June 25th. An amazing run. Dodgers have actually lost 6 straight, longest streak of the season. And Mike Trout's 6th career home run on his birthday, tied for the most in Major League history. Acuna Jr. leads off the 6th inning, takes the ball inside. So Trout tied Alex Rodriguez and Mark Reynolds for most home runs on a birthday. So the 32-5 run by the Red Sox, Paul, that's the first team that's done that since the 2022 Dodgers, and before that it was Cleveland in 2017. It's not easy to win 32 of 37 games, and that's the American League East standings right now. Ground ball, second base, Josh Chisholm.
You know, you're going through those streaks. It's just amazing how you feel like you're going to win when you show up. Just the way it is. Go with Dennis, Michael.
The Optimum Fiber famously fast replay. We're taking a look at Fried.
Well, he's been really good. He started out early in the game with a lot of cutters, and now he's starting to mix that breaking ball in, the four-seamer in. He's got the ball down now, where he was a little up early in the game, but really, really good start by Max Fried.
Drake Baldwin. Now he's the Brave that had the run taken off the board because he didn't get to home plate before the out was made at third. 6 strikeouts, 4 flyouts, and 4 groundouts for Fried.
Yeah, at the time, you think first inning, you know, that's a big play because it saved a run. But now you look at the score, you know, in the 6th inning, 0-0.
And it's
that's
enormous.
A huge play.
Yep. Cruz heating up. Left field on the run, Ramos toward the line, but it'll make the seats foul. One down here in the 6th. Another fine performance by a Yankee starter.
That's the pitch I'm not looking for tomorrow, Michael. The two-seamer in from a lefty. I don't like it. I didn't like when I played, and I hate it now. You can't get to it.
Well, what you have to root for when you're playing Old Timers Day is that David Cone pitch.
I know. Every time I look out there, it's Mariano or some big lefty like
Not
Grant
right.
Lloyd or something. It's not right.
Nope. Maybe you get Ottavino.
Could he hit my bat? It's the only way.
Well, he's pretty good. He's got great location.
What are the chances you're going to break a nice little sweat tomorrow on the field in your suit?
Well, I think it's the last time that suit's going to be worn.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance.
You might as well sign it and put it in the museum.
Yeah,
up there.
pretty much. Anybody will want it. 2-2. I was actually today given verbal permission that if you want to wear a polo shirt, you can do that. And I said, you know what? Frank Messer never wore a polo shirt.
They don't know you, man. You can't do that.
No, it just wouldn't look good. Like 20 years from now, they go, well, why is he wearing a polo shirt? Big oaf. There's a ground ball to second.
You said it, I did.
That's right. I'd rather sweat through the suit than wear a polo shirt doing Old Timers Day.
Hey, Paul, Michael was so kind to join me on the lineup show today on the field when it was about 150 degrees. He was not pleased with the temperature, but he said he thinks tomorrow is going to be the day when he falls over on the field. I was like, Michael, don't say that.
Matt, but you left out the best part. I said face first.
I'll keep an eye on him, Meredith. You know, we can't have these kind of things happening here on Yes.
We won't let that happen to a teammate.
We got a lot of Yes folks running around here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things could go wrong. A lot of people mic'd up, so watch what you say.
Oh, I forgot about that. I got a 7-second delay on that thing?
No, it's live.
It's live? Oh, boy. Might be my last whole time today.
You know, he's showing me something. Mariano is planning to pitch tomorrow, a year after he tore his Achilles in the Old Timers game.
You know, he did. It's like Tommy John. It takes a year. Now he's back on the hill, right?
There he is. He's ready. Should be a fun day, and all the coverage will be on Yes, so tune in, everybody. Punched out toward right field. Jones on the run. He's there, reaches up to make the play. And the Braves go down in order, and we'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is of Jessica, Nora, Annie, and Gia, who enjoyed a lovely day at the stadium. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention Yes in pictures you post to social media. Reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Bottom of the sixth inning, Rice, Ramos, Garcia against Tyler Mahle. Rice has struck out twice against the Braves right-hander. Fly ball, left field. Thomas toward the line. Comes back, and he makes the play in fair territory for the first down.
See what I'm saying about McMahon going like straight to the ball now with his hands away? And in contrast, you look at Rice where he looks like you always want to try to get extension through the inside of the ball where you're staying on it. If you look at him where his first approach is, it's like to the outside of the ball. And so he's a little late, he's a little out front, and then he's behind that fastball. And you're going to start to see some body language, that last swing, that, you know, it just becomes frustrating.
Well, right now he's 2 for his last 32. And then Paul, over a longer stretch in 18 games, this is his 19th, 10 for 69.
Yeah, that's not like he's been all year. And you just expect, you know, you see guys get off to good starts and they wake up. That's not where Ben Rice is. I mean, he has gone too long in the season and put up too many good numbers to have this go on much longer.
2-2 on Elliot Ramos. .31 home runs and 73 ribbies, and Rice struggling right now, and he has been the Yankee offense.
Yeah, that's another thing about you know, being in the DH role a lot, that it gives you so much time to just sit and dwell on things where you really can't get away from what's going on at the plate. You can't go out and make a good play defensively. You can't do something to, you know, just to get your mind away from it by concentrating on defense.
Swing and a miss. Mahle dialed it up to 96 there. 2 away.
Well, Mahle's been good, and it's about you know, just changing speeds and changing in and out. Ramos again trying to hit the ball the other way. That's his bread and butter, but that ball just outside the strike zone up. And the ball has good carry where it stays there. The barrel goes under it.
Yankees have struck out 8 times against Mahle, walked twice. And they have 2 hits, a couple of doubles. One was a leadoff double in the 4th, didn't get him home. One was a 1-out double in the 5th, didn't get him home. And the count is 0-2. Line drive, it's a base hit. Garcia picks up a single with 2 outs. Yankees' 3rd hit. Well, fans, go to @YesNetwork on X and vote for the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. Is it number 1, Luis Garcia Jr., number 2, George Lombard Jr., or number 3, Ryan Weathers? Well, here's another junior, Jazz Chisholm Jr.
I know who the fan favorite's been this week, and that's been George Lombard ever since he and his family showed up for his first Major League game. What a story it's been.
Well, Jeremy Hefner will take the walk out to the mound. Braves had a rough year last year, derailed by injuries. Brian Snitker, longtime Braves employee, many different jobs. He decided to retire, and his longtime lieutenant, Walt Weiss, took over. Weiss, 62 years old. He's from Suffern, New York, and he's done a great job in his first season at the helm of the Atlanta Braves. Jazz Chisholm's 0 for 2. 1-0.
Walt Weiss walked into a good situation. I mean, they did not make the playoffs last year, but a lot had to do with the injuries. You know, they were beat up and obviously running away with their division this year. But he is just an old school guy, that shortstop that knows the game, played the game. You can tell the way this team is. You know, the fundamentals are there. The ability to concentrate and go out and just win day after day.
Weiss, 14 seasons in the big leagues, won the Rookie of the Year with the A's in '88, All-Star in '98 with the Atlanta Braves. 2-1. He had one other managerial stint, that was with Colorado, and they weren't built to win at that point, but he did a pretty good job, and then became the bench coach for Brian Snitker. Considered a really smart, hard-nosed baseball man. Count 2-2. Garcia at first, held there by Olsen. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. 0-0. Hits are even at 3 apiece. Swing and a miss. Jazz's struggles continue. We go to the 7th. Now it's time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. This is an 8. 249, just over 1,000 hits, stolen bases, 189. Played for the Yankees 1 year in '87. Started with the Dodgers, finished with the Braves in '88. And had a stint with the Braves as well.
Uh-oh.
You have any idea?
No, it's too late for this right now. You know, we got to get this earlier in the game, or you know, we got a little mental energy left.
Well, that's the "your day is done" hug. Tyler Mahle with a really good debut performance for the Braves. Ford scoreboard, 0-0, top of the 7th. Matt Olson leads off against Max Fried.
This is the matchup you want. Fried with Olson being the guy that could really tie this game up. A dangerous at bat here. Max Fried, with him leading off, you really just can't pitch around him, but you cannot give in, because those numbers don't lie. He can take the ball out of the ballpark with one mistake.
And I think this is it for Fried. They're keeping him in there to get the lefty swinging Olson. So 0 for 2 against Fried. Popped the 3rd, fouled out, and then a fly ball to right, just missed. Right in on the hands, 2-1.
That's a 2-seamer. I mean, to a lefty, I always found that to be the hardest pitch. It just keeps boring in on you. There's nothing you can do. Once you commit to swing, you know you're going to get jammed. You don't want to put it in play. Just stay through it and hope you foul it off.
Line foul.
Yeah, what's so dangerous about Olson, as you've seen it, he's able to get to the ball. He can drive the ball out of the ballpark, but he is also able to control the outside corner because his arms are away from him and he's such a long guy. So really no holes in his swing. Those are two perfect pitches. A two-seamer in on his hands and then a breaking ball away. You just can't miss out over the middle of the plate.
Now, you talked about his consecutive game streak. He's at 898. All he has to do, Paul, is play every single game for the next 10 years, and in the first 69 in 2037, when he would be 43 years old to break Cal Ripken's record.
You know, there's some records that just aren't going to be broken, and that's one of them. And it's just amazing. You just took it for granted. A great job by Fried. Here comes Aaron Boone, but a standing O for him tonight, and a huge out by getting Olson out there too to start the top of the seventh.
And it's got to be frustrating. Fried was great against a team that's a really good offensive team, and he's leaving with no chance to win the game because the Yankees could not get a run against Tyler Mahle. So listen to the hand he's going to get as the Yankees go to the pen.
Welcome back. The Yankees signed veteran catcher Mitch Garver to a minor league deal. He's another option, adds a little depth at the catching position, also another option at right-handed bat. Something that's worth noting, guys, there's already a relationship with someone in the Yankees organization, catching coordinator Tanner Swanson. Garver was an early pioneer of the one-knee-down catching stance. He switched his stance heading into the 2019 season. It was actually Tanner Swanson that flew out to New Mexico to meet with Garver and kind of take him through the transition of that. It became widely popular, as we know, throughout Major League Baseball. The goal of it was just to get lower at the time, but now there's a lot more involved in what they're teaching, and you see Tanner Swanson right now. He's been with the Yankees staff since the 2020 season. So they'll see what Garver has left in the tank and whether or not he becomes an option up here, guys, at the big league level.
It's a flyer by the Yankees. They're just taking a chance, and, you know, you can't make any trades anymore after the trade deadline. So they take a chance on Mitch Garver, 35-year-old right-handed hitting catcher. Fernando Cruz, 54 games this year. You see the numbers. Facing Dubon, 1 for 2. Two and one. We're in the top of the seventh inning. Nothing. Starting the game was delayed an hour and 55 minutes because of a downpour here in the Bronx. But things cleared up and playing uneventfully since that point. Check out the bullpen budget for the Yankees, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Yesterday was a day off, so they had a chance to reset. The Yankees did. You would assume that everybody's available. The Yankees hadn't had a day off, and they'll have another day off on Monday, so they can manage this weekend a little bit differently and go a little bit heavier on the relievers. Line, foul ball. Ramos just made a friend. Look at the smile. Two. Driven deep to left field. Going back Ramos. He's on the track. He makes the play. 2 away.
Boy, the swing off the bat, you thought it was headed for the seats. Must have gone off the end of the bat. And Max Fried's thinking, no. Let's see. Yeah, right off the end of the bat, which kept it in the ballpark. Ramos makes an easy play. Actually got in on him a little.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad swing. Here's Thomas. No, pinch hitter Michael Harris II pinch hitting for Thomas with the righty in now. Braves started the game with 4 left-handed hitters on the bench. You've got Dominic Smith, Mike Yastrzemski, Harris, and Jim Jarvis. Fly ball on the left side. McMahon giving it a look in foul territory. And he runs out of room.
Harris just getting a day off today. They're pretty much their everyday center fielder, and he's really had a bounce back of a year. 20 home runs so far. He was a Rookie of the Year in 2022, and then he's had a couple years where his offense went down, but really bounced back this year with 20 home runs already.
Swing and a miss on the splitter, and that'll do it. So the Braves against 2 Yankee pitchers go down in order 1, 2, 3. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees and the Braves, 0-0. Max Fried likes what he sees, and we're going to stay right here as we honor America here in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise and remove your caps? Tonight, the New York Yankees are honoring as their veteran of the game, United States Army Specialist Charles Henry Harris III from White Plains, New York, who served in Vietnam. The Yankees say thank you, Charles, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
All right, fans, it's stretch time, so
You guys, let's check out tonight's Gusto game recap. Each team with 3 hits, each team without a run. Matty was great. Max Fried was even better. Braves offense, they don't have an extra base hit. Yankees have a couple. Elliot Ramos, 1 for 2, one of those extra base hits, and also walked. Didier Fuentes comes on and deals a pitch inside to Spencer Jones. Forward scoreboard, 0-0.
As important as these games are, Michael, when you get a well-pitched game like this, 7 shutout innings from the Yankee starter and Cruz, you got to win this game. And it's much more important for the Yankees than the Braves, who are well ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies. So you got to start feeling like, this has got to be our night. We got to win this game somehow.
Well, I'd say the closest they came to a run was in the 4th inning, a leadoff double by Ramos. He stayed there after Garcia and Chisholm made out, and then the man at the plate, Spencer Jones, drove Mauricio Dubon back to the 408 side, but Dubon made a nice play to end the inning. Fuentes, 21 years old, second big league season. He throws his 4-seamer, Paul, with 3 fingers on the ball.
A lot of times they do that for control.
High fly ball, right field. Acuna back on the track. He makes the play, leaning up against the wall.
Jones has made 2 swings tonight, just missed dead center field, and now right to the wall. You see, like you said, that 3-finger Usually that gives you better control, but takes a little velocity off it. I mean, he's in 98 and 99. Spencer Jones twice, just missing a home run.
So Harris is now in center as Dubon moves to left. George Lombard Jr. takes outside from Fuentes. Lombard is 0 for 2. Fuentes throws hard. Has a 30.8% strikeout rate, 10th among National League relievers. One and two. McMahon on deck. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. 0-0. Driven out to center field. Harris makes the play. Tell you what, Paul, the ball's not really carrying.
No, you've seen some balls off the bat you thought were in the stands, and everything seems to be dying in the outfield, to your point.
Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org. A little bit of a haze here at the stadium. It's a muggy evening, even after the rain. Line and a base hit for McMahon. Walk, and he's 2 for 2. So 5 for his last 11. McMahon picks up a 2-out single. Yankees' 4th hit.
Well, he's had quite a night offensively and defensively, and again, just straight to the ball. See those hands? There's no loop to that. Just straight to the ball. Lash it the other way. Boy, if he can bottle this up and just figure out this is what I need to do, he's going to be successful.
Here's Austin Wells. Foul back. Oh, and 2. Wells 0 for 2 tonight. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. Swings over the splitter. No runs a hit. No errors and 1 man left. And Wells hearing it from the crowd. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium next Tuesday. That's August 11th when the Yankees take on the Mariners. It's K-Pop Demon Hunters Night. First 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a roomy Yankees bobblehead. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Hyundai scoreboard, 0-0. Cruz remains in. Did he go? Yes, he did. So the count 0-1 on Austin Riley. Riley did not have a good first half. 95 games pre-All-Star break, 207. Coming into this game, 19 games after the All-Star break, 290. Very emphatic check. Dylan Lee warming up. Two and 2. Bottom of the order against Cruz, Riley, Murphy, and Kim. Saw Hedrick up for the Yankees. Miss with the fastball. High fly ball left field. Ramos back. Track. Wall. See ya. It is 1-0 Braves.
Well, you've seen a lot lately with Cruz. I don't know if he's been overworked or tired, but a lot of these split fingers that you saw guys not even close to early in the year, he's starting to get it up in the strike zone, and up in the strike zone, hitters get a much better look at it. Riley's 14th of the year. We talked about the Braves, 156 home runs now in the year. That's a lot. They hit a lot of home runs.
First run of the game. Braves lead 1-0. And as Paul said, Braves have a good bullpen.
You see that split finger. When it gets up, it doesn't dive down. It just kind of rolls. And earlier in the year, you saw him always missing down out of the strike zone, and you'd get a swing and a miss if it was close. Up in the strike zone, hitter gets a good look at it.
Deep into the seats and left. One and two.
We've talked about the old timers day tomorrow, Michael. Once you get to the game, I mean, you got a premier pitching matchup. Chris Sale, Garrett Cole. So it's not going to get any easier for the Yankees in this series to score runs.
There's a splitter that dives down, and Murphy swings over the top. One away.
Yeah, such a different movement with this ball down in the strike zone. And watch, it ends up almost in the dirt. Doesn't hang up in the strike zone where you can get the bat on it.
And Boone's going to go to the bullpen. Hedrick is ready. Cruz has been struggling of late. Last 10 appearances, not good. Well, tomorrow, Yankees Old Timers Day is back, and you can watch your favorite pinstripe legends take the field on Yes. Coverage begins at noon and will include the on-field ceremony and the Old Timers game, where many of our Yes Network analysts will be mic'd up on the diamond, like last year.
Oh, a slider, huh? Hi. Really? Hey, we're base to base here, man. Yes, we are. That's enough running. Oh! Oh!
Sound like you're in pain there, Paul. Dominic Smith pinch hitting for Kim.
How can that get you pumped up? I mean, my goodness.
Whatever you do tomorrow, please, I want you to tap your hat.
Oh, I got to check.
Yeah, ABS. There's going to be ABS in the Old Timers.
I want to know what it's like.
Your life would have been so different with ABS.
Wouldn't have anybody to blame but myself.
That's right.
Tough.
Nice season for Dominic Smith, who did well in spring training for the Yankees. It just wasn't a space for him. 1-2. Fouled away. We're in the 8th inning, and it's 1-0 Braves on the Austin Riley home run against Fernando Cruz. Each team with 4 hits. Now, we always see that shot from center field, and if you look, part of the batter's eye is that area behind that black window. And I talked to 2 people before the game today working there. They said, "You ever been there?" And I go, "I really have never been there." And they go, "It's such a great spot."
So you can look out and obviously see the field from the inside. I mean, that's kind of, we perch right above that for our playoff. So you and I, we've been out there a lot, you know that, with our fall clothes on, ready for the playoffs.
Right. So I've got to duck in there at some point.
Right.
So that was broken bat. So Dominic gets a new one. 1-2 count against Hedrick. Swing and a miss. Smith down on strikes.
Well, you can't say enough about what Hedrick has done this year. I mean, just time and time again, he comes in and gets outs, throws strikes, doesn't get himself in trouble.
And it was Acuna Jr.
You know, Audrey really gave you a toy tonight.
That's unbelievable.
Got this charger thing. Every time I look at you, you're plugging it in something else.
Because I forgot all my chargers today, but this is amazing. I might really lift it.
It wasn't a giveaway. Yeah,
no.
It goes back.
It's a giveaway if I won't give it back. One nothing Braves, 2 outs, nobody on. Every year when you build a bullpen, you've got to have a guy like this that's going to exceed anybody's expectations. And the Yankees like Hedrick, but nobody thought that he's going to be sporting a 1.39 ERA. Grounded and grabbed by McMahon. Throw to first, not in time. So Acuna, who sometimes just jogs to first, decided, well, that's almost a base hit.
Yeah. You know, McMahon did everything he could. I mean, this ball's going down the line. Acuna, you're right, gets out of the box, and he's got good speed. Just outran the baseball. Kind of had a weird spin on it. It looked like it was going foul, then it kind of shot back in fair territory.
He's had 2 separate serious knee surgeries, but he can still turn it on. He's got a world of talent. So he picks up the 2nd hit of the evening.
You mentioned his MVP. You know, he stole 78 or 79 bases that year too. I mean, it was just an amazing year.
And a strike to Drake Baldwin. Drake 1 for 3. Baldwin, the reigning National League Rookie of the Year, and no sophomore jinx for him. He's having a really good 2nd season. National League starting catcher in the All-Star game. That one is broken bat into center. Diving and not making the play is Grisham. Backing up, Ramos will get the ball in quickly as Acuna will stop at third. Quick throw to third, and Acuna gets back.
It looked like Grisham made up his mind he was going to dive. He got a glove on it, which was good. It didn't get by him, or Acuna would have scored. But right there, you know, he's kind of put himself in a position where he has to go for it. Well, with 2 outs, Hedrick still has an opportunity, and Lombard tried to throw behind him. Actually looked like he got there in time. Just went off the end of his glove. Wasn't able to grab it.
And here comes Matt Blake to talk with Hedrick. That's how close it was, him getting back. Now you talk about high leverage situations and the stress that the Yankee bullpen has had to deal with. Paul, with the offense the way it is, this is an enormous out to get. You can't let another run score the way the Yankees are not scoring runs.
Yeah, I mean, they're down 1-0. You're looking at a big hit here that, you know, the way the offense is going, it almost puts it out of reach. I mean, and right now, you know, you're looking for one swing of the bat can tie the game, but, you know, not if the Braves are able to tack on runs here. So you're right. Either the bullpen has come in with a 1 or 2 run lead where every pitch matters, or they're trying to hold the offense in the game down a run. So you're right. Either way, there's a lot of stressful pitches out there.
So Cunha cools himself down as the mound meeting is broken up. Baldwin has 2 stolen bases. He's held at first there by Garcia. Albies at the plate. And a strike.
You see Acuna looking at McMahon, and he's able to get out as far. McMahon playing way off the bag.
Better numbers against lefties than against righties. Now, you were a good base runner. Were you ever tempted to steal home?
No, I mean, I didn't have that kind of speed, but you know, there are times where you know, guys with good speed, you know, the pitcher gets so locked in and the third baseman's back so far, you just have to let the hitter know somehow, because you don't want him swinging when you're stealing.
Yep. And that threat goes away with 2 strikes, because the hitter has to protect. You can't just step aside and let you slide home, because it could be a called 3rd strike. Swing and a miss. Hedrick's brilliance continues. But 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 men left on base. The Riley home run gives the Braves a 1-0 lead. Well, tomorrow on Yes, don't miss a marquee pitching matchup in Game 2 as Garrett Cole and Chris Sale take the mound in the Bronx. That's a good one, man. Pre-game coverage starts at 2:30, leading up the first pitch shortly after 3 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. And another reminder, Yankees Old Timers Day precedes the game, and Yes will cover all the festivities starting at noon. So spend the whole afternoon with us. Dylan Lee, one of 4 lefties in the bullpen. He takes over, and a pinch hitter, Rosario, for Grisham. So Jarvis takes over at shortstop. You know, Paul, the struggles of Grisham have gone on for so long that they don't usually pinch hit for him against lefties, but there's just only so patient that you can be when you're not scoring runs. So Grisham was 0 for 3 tonight. He's 8 for his last 74, and you wonder if his hold on this position is somewhat tenuous.
Well, I mean, you're just looking at a drought from the top of the order where between he and Rice, I mean, not a lot of things going on, and it just puts a lot of pressure on the bottom of the order, who's, you know, obviously expected to do well too, but you know, the top of the order, you're hitting the top of the order for a reason. That's because you know, you're getting on base, you're driving in runs, and right now that's just not happening.
And also, when you're leading off, it's mathematical. You are seeing more bats than anybody else in the lineup. You're guaranteed to see more bats, and until Trent finds it again, you have to wonder if he's got to recalibrate and maybe change the lineup up a bit. One, 2. Pop foul and out of play. High fly ball. Acuna will make the play. One down. Bednar and Hill. So here's Rice. Boy, if you believe in do, he's 0 for 3 today. 0 for his last 17. 2 for his last 32. Not had a home run in 10 games. 1-0. Paul, what are you seeing with Rice?
It just looks like he's getting out to his front side a little bit quick, which causes him to come around the ball a little bit. And you know, he was so quick inside early in the year where he's kind of lunging out, where he's taking a lot of the balls inside and not able to really go with the ball away.
Two and one on Rice. 2 strikeouts, a fly ball to left. In the bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0 Braves. Two and two. The count full on Rice with Elliot Ramos on deck. Foul back. Yankees have 4 hits. They've had a couple of runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Rice down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight.
Had a couple decent swings on the ball and then leaving the strike zone, and that's just not seeing the ball, being a little anxious. Don't get me wrong, Lee's put up numbers for a reason. He's got good stuff.
Ramos takes high. Dylan Lee comes into the game 2.06 ERA, 7th best among National League relievers with 30 more innings. But it's the 2nd best ERA among Braves named Dylan. Dylan Dodd has a 2.04 ERA. We told you this bullpen is pretty stacked. And they're doing it without one of their key guys, Robert Suarez, who's been injured. Goldschmidt grabs a bat. .30. 3-1. Four righties, 4 lefties for Walt Weiss in the bullpen. And a good day for Elliot Ramos. He's been on base 3 times, 2 walks and a double. And that'll bring up Luis Garcia Jr. He's 1 for 3.
You get Garcia, Chisholm, and Jones. You just wonder who Goldschmidt was getting loose for.
One and 0. Struggles somewhat against lefties. Big difference in OPS. His .560 slug is only topped by Yordan Alvarez's .640. Yankees need some slug right now. Garcia with 24 home runs. Did he go? Nope. And he works a walk.
That's a good at bat there. I mean, there were some pitches he could have gone after, especially if you're anxious. You want to be the hero. But to take the walk.
Well, the Yankees are going to pinch hit for Jazz and send up Paul Goldschmidt.
You know, again, it's the struggles, and it's the time where Aaron Boone has to roll the dice. You got Goldschmidt, who got a pinch hit the other night. First one of the year. This is basically now looks like it's going to be his role with spot starting and pinch hitting against lefties. And you don't see Jazz pinch hit for very often against lefties. But the way the offense is going, the game has forced Aaron Boone to try to take some chances here.
And Jazz has really struggled. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So in this 8th inning, Boone pinch hits for 2 guys that don't get pinch hit for a lot. Trent Grisham and Jazz Chisholm.
You know, if you define roles now, this is it. A big situation against a lefty. Paul Goldschmidt's going to be your guy.
Now Lee actually does quite well against righties. Paul, they hit 175 against him. 0-1, first and second, 2 men out. 0-2. Good change.
Yeah, this is the worst thing you want as a pinch hitter, to go up there. You don't see a couple pitches before you're 0-2, and now you're in emergency mode.
Goldschmidt 1 for 11 as a pinch hitter this year. That one hit came against the Cardinals in the previous series. Two and 2. Couple of 2-out walks by Ramos and then Garcia. Now a 2-2 count for the pinch hitter Goldschmidt, hitting for Jazz Chisholm. Bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0 Braves. Lined down the line, foul. Good arms in right and in left. Michael Harris proceed with caution. Acuna has an unbelievable arm. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Goldschmidt down on strikes. We go to the 9th inning. It's 1-0 Atlanta. It's time to find out the answer to Name That Yankee. This is a tough one. You see the numbers, you see the teams. Finished with the Braves in '88. And it's Jerry Royster.
Hey, Royster. Wow.
That's
the name for the guy.
Let's go to the ball.
Hitters like Jerry just swung away at normal. Pittsburgh.
Showing power the other way.
Exciting young. Another.
How about that
Jerry
play?
Royster.
Turning a hit into an out. And how about that
Wow.
catch? That's robbing a home run. And then with the Yankees, Jerry Royster. New pitcher for the Yankees, Tim Hill. Got some changes defensively for the Yanks. We'll give you those as we move along. Driven into right center field off the bat of Olsen. That ball is gone into the Yankee bullpen. Couple of solo home runs for the Braves. They lead 2-0.
Well, I've talked about it all game, how dangerous Olson is with the type of numbers. And if you miss after ball one, Tim Hill, you know what you're going to get, a sinker. And then if it doesn't have action down in the strike zone, he's going to square it up. I mean, this was a line drive. It just happened to end up in the bullpen.
One and 0 on Dubon. So 6 home runs in the last 10 games for Olson, his 33rd of the year. You know, Tim Hill, for the longest time, has been so incredibly reliable and consistent. But last month or so, he's been yielding the home run a lot. And that's just not him. Since he's joined the Yankees, he's been automatic out of the bullpen.
And you want to see contact, though, but you want to see contact on the ground with that good sinking fastball.
Like that. Nice play there by McMahon to retire Dubon.
But after ball one, you see this sinker, you know, inner half, but kind of belt high. And Olson just too good of a hitter. Boy, what a beautiful swing. If you're an Atlanta Braves fan.
Here's Michael Harris. Big stride.
Yeah, and, you know, his hands away from his body. He has no problem getting to that inside pitch.
Now, if you want to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth of the Yankees, it's Jones, Lombard, and McMahon. And they'll try to do it against Iglesias, the closer, who's 24 out of 26 this year.
Catcher's down to the pitch.
All right, so Wells going to challenge that ball call. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. How about that? Overturned by a lace. So the count goes now to 2-1. Up the middle, Caballero will make the play. Caballero takes over at second. Jones moves from right to center. And Rosario takes over in right field. So with Riley coming up and Hill having allowed 9 home runs in 42 2/3 innings this season, that is not him. They're going to go to the bullpen. They'll bring in the right-hander to face Riley. It'll be Yerry De Los Santos. Yankees trail 2-0. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Charles Tyrrell. Making it easy for men to dress well. Visit ctshirts.com. By Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. And by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right they almost feel wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Bobby Cox in the Hall of Fame. Andrew Jones before that in the Hall of Fame. Joe Torre in the Hall of Fame. We'll see Joe tomorrow. Yerry De Los Santos deals to Austin Riley. There's a strike. Riley broke the scoreless tie with a home run in the 8th inning against Fernando Cruz. Last time De Los Santos pitched in the big leagues, June 29th, implying his trade in Scranton. Center field. Jones drifts back, makes the play, and that'll do it. But Olson's home run gives them some breathing room. It is a 2-0 Braves lead. Can the Yankees rally in the bottom of the ninth? Well, fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Loren, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino are back in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Marakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. It's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So Raisel Iglesias, 24 of 26 in saves, 44 strikeouts in 41 innings. And he's going to try to nail down the final 3 outs. It'll be Jones, Lombard, and McMahon. Only guy left on the bench is Ali Sanchez for the Yanks, the right-handed hitting catcher. Jones hit the ball hard twice, but just not enough to get out. Iglesias, 36 years old, 12 big league season. He finally made his first All-Star game this season. And Jazz's face right there kind of tells the story of the entire struggles of the offense.
Michael, he's got a T-shirt on.
Yep.
In the dugout. All right.
2-2. Swing and a miss on the change.
Well, you're seeing a solid team. They just know how to play. They got good pitching. They got key hitting. They got stars, and they've got a good bullpen. And that's why the Atlanta Braves are where they are in their division.
Here's Lombard. He's 0 for 3. And a strike. One and one. Two and one. Dribbled slowly. It's going to be a base hit. And it's thrown past Olsen and goes down into foul territory. And Lombard's going to go to third. Acuna finally retrieves it and gets it in. So it's going to be a base hit. And then an error on Iglesias to throw it by Olsen.
Well, it's not hit hard, but you're seeing what Lombard does. He he does put the ball in play, and you never know. He gets down the line, kind of an errant throw, just gone, and this thing actually gets on top of the wall and starts rolling down. Lombard looked like Little League. Just keep running until they stop you.
So here's McMahon. The infield's back. Ground ball gets a run in, but the Yankees are down by 2 here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Isn't it always when you give up that extra run, Michael, then you end up scoring 1 in the 9th that would have been a tying run?
Scored a single and a 2-base E1, allowing Lombard to go to third. McMahon 2 for 2 with a walk, single and a double. 1 and 1. Top of the 8th inning in Seattle. Tampa Bay leads 2-0 over the Mariners. Red Sox have already won. It's their 9th straight win. So the Yankees need to rally here. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Well, he went after him, and you see that little movement right at the end, kind of tailing back over the plate, but got away from the barrel.
Foul back to the screen. One swing. And the Yankees tie the game. 2-0 Braves, bottom of the ninth. Two and two. And that one's tipped into the glove of Murphy. 2 away. Yankees down to their final out.
Yeah, fastball, then went back to the changeup. Got him way out in front, and you see the movement down and away off the plate. Tough pitch.
So Wells, who has been swinging the bat better of late, has not had a good night. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And a strike. And the righty deals. Drill to right field. That is a base hit. Yankees are on the board. Lombard scores. And Wells gets himself an RBI double as the Yankees have a pulse here in the bottom of the ninth.
Wow,
it's 2-1.
Big hit for Wells right there. Drives it down the right field line. Again, Michael, every time you give up that insurance run, it comes back to kind of haunt you. Another one up in the strike zone. He stays around it and just hammers it down the right field line.
th ribby for Wells. So he's the tying run at second. Rosario at the plate. He pinch hit for Grisham in the 8th inning and had a fly ball to right. So the youngster giving some scouting reports.
Yeah, just talking about the movement, and he's explaining the changeup, you know, how it's kind of a two-seamer going away. Lombard started this with an infield single.
And a strike to Rosario. Rosario actually has been better against right-handed pitching this year than against lefties. That's against his career trend. 1-1. Wells at second, 2 men out, 2-1 Braves, bottom of the 9th inning. Two and two. Got the 4-seamer by him.
Well, a healthy cut at it. Just did not make contact to be right on it. See, his ball kind of tails back into a righty.
The 2-2. 3-2. Ben Rice is on deck. Wells with the RBI double leads off second. Full count on Rosario. The payoff. Foul the back. Those are the numbers lifetime against Iglesias. Game on the line. Payoff. Another foul ball.
Well, it is what it is, Michael. Kind of a defensive swing, but when you're 3-2, you know, you really can't go after it unless he hangs that changeup.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Just missed. A walk to Rosario.
Well, this is what you want. You want Ben Rice, who has been struggling to come up in a big situation, possibly come out of it in one swing. But a great job by Rosario to fight off a lot of stuff and get the guy up to the ball, to the plate. And Ben Rice with an opportunity to tie this game up or even take him ahead.
0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts for Rice. Struggled over the last 19 games. Here's the spot. Missed outside, 1-0.
Catcher is challenging the pitch.
And that's going to be challenged by Murphy. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Pitches the ball. Atlanta has 1 challenge remaining.
The call was correct by Mark Rippinger. Right field. Going back to Cunha. He's going to turn and look and play it off the wall. The Yankees have tied the game. Wells scores. Rosario moves to third. A big base hit by Ben Rice, and the Yankees are tied up at 2.
Well, I love these positions where you get the slump out of your mind. It's such a big at bat that you just forget about everything. You're talking about a foot or 2 from this game being over with a 3-run homer, but this ball could not be hit any harder. Just a hammer from Ben Rice. You wish you would have got a bad carom, and somehow, some way, Rosario could have scored. But to keep it going, you got a tie game with an opportunity right here. Ramos to put this thing away.
Hit too hard for Acuna to get back and make the play. Plays the carom beautifully, stopping Rosario at third. So here's Ramos. He has a chance to be a Yankee hero. Yankees have tied the game. They do not hold Rice at first. He takes off. And there's a strike. That run means nothing. But it does remove the force at second base. That's defensive indifference. And Ramos gets plunked. That'll load the bases. Ramos has been on base 4 times tonight.
Yeah, you just wonder if Walt Weiss will stay with Iglesias or go to the left-hander in the bullpen with Garcia coming to the plate.
Well, looks like he's making the move to go up the dugout steps. Nothing yet, and here he comes. So it looks like it'll be Dylan Dodd. So the Yankees barely had a pulse, but they scored 2 runs. That the bases loaded with 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning, Luis Garcia waiting. Well, fans, when you get Gotham, you can stream live games and exclusive Yankees content. Download the Gotham Sports app to get highlights, features, podcasts, original series, and so much more. If you get Yes on TV, then you get the Gotham Sports app for free, so download and sign in today. Yankees were on the mat. They climbed off the mat. They have tied the game. They have a chance for a dramatic come-from-behind victory. The bases are loaded. Dylan Dodd will come on to face Luis Garcia Jr. Rosario is a winning run at third. Dodd deals. A strike. Garcia introduced himself to Yankee fans with this. Doesn't need to go yard. He just needs to get that run in from third.
Well, Dodd, you talked about his numbers, and they're even better against lefties. Lefties only hitting 173. A tough at bat for Garcia. If you're Rosario, you could get off as far as you want. Anything in the dirt. Take a chance to try to score.
No 1-1. 1-2.
It's a nasty breaking ball there. And then, you know, his style of hitting where he opens up, it's really hard for him to stay square on that slider away to lefties.
Dribbled in front of the plate, but foul. Kick foul. You see Caballero on deck. He's not coming up this inning. Either the game's going to be over or you'll see him in the 10th. David Bednar getting ready to pitch the 10th. The only way he pitches is if the Yankees don't score that run at third. One and two on Garcia Jr. 2-2.
Yeah, Caballero, if you look at him on the on-deck circle, just hanging out on the wall, I don't think he took it a bat out there. He's just got the best seat in the house.
Well, you have to have somebody on deck, but
yeah,
he's not coming up this inning. The 2-2. Grounded softly to second base. Albies will make the play, and that will do it. But the Yankees have tied the score. The big hit off the bat of Ben Rice, been struggling so mightily. Hits one off the wall to score the tying run. We go to extra innings. It is 2-2. David Bednar will pitch the 10th inning. The Yankees are in extra innings, and to be quite frank, they've been dreadful in extra innings. It has not been their friend. They are 1-8 in the extra frames, and the Braves are 4-5.
Well, they're due, Michael. You believe in due, right?
Sure. Ben Rice was due.
He certainly was. He almost was due to hit a 3-run homer, and we'd be walking in the tunnel right now.
Big hit for Rice to tie the game. So the automatic runner is at second base. That's Austin Riley. Bednar on to face Sean Murphy.
So you look at guys that really came through in the 9th inning. Guys that have really been struggling with Wells and Rice coming up with huge at-bats for the Yankees to tie this game up.
It's so important to finish this off and win the game, because if you end up losing in extra innings and you've used your relievers way more than you want to again and you don't get a win out of it, that stings. So since the extra inning rule came into effect, they're 29-17 at home, second best in baseball, but on the road that's the second worst. Well, not to worry about that. They're home here at Yankee Stadium. Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Lombard. The throw to first. What a nice play by George Lombard Jr. to turn it into an out.
Well, again, I mean, these plays you have not seen the Yankee infield make, and this is all because of the strength of his arm. Going in the hole, if you don't have a strong arm right here, you've got no chance of making this play, and he makes it easily. A huge play, Michael. I mean, he kept the runner at second and makes the out.
So here's Jim Jarvis, his first at bat of the night. He was a shortstop when Kim was out. (2-0).
Catcher's challenge the pitch.
Well, Wall's going to challenge that ABS challenge, powered by T-Mobile. And Wells is right.
This is a strike.
Wells pretty good at
Retains
this.
his challenge.
Yeah, he's been on fire this homestand. I think it was 4 for 4 the first game against St. Louis. You figure as a catcher, you really should have a good view whether that's a strike or a ball.
One and two. Coming up for the Yankees, Caballero, Jones, and Lombard. And they'll start it off with Luis Garcia at second base. One, two. Grounded to first. Garcia fields, will go to the bag. 2 down as Riley moves to third.
Well, this would be a huge out and give the Yankees a huge advantage if he can get through this now, get this third out, and not allow that run to score. But a tough out. Acuna's been swinging the bat better. 2 home runs yesterday. And 2 singles tonight.
So here's a dangerous Ronald Acuna Jr. Runner at third, 2 outs. 1-0.
You got to, I mean, there's no easy way to get through this. You got Acuna, who's been hot lately, last night and tonight, and Baldwin has had a solid year offensively on deck, a lefty. So
Acuna 2 hits and 4 at-bats tonight. Couple singles. Baldwin also with 2 hits and 4 at-bats. Two and 1.
You see, he'll go with that split finger in the fastball count. He's kind of gotten away pretty much from that overhand curveball. That must have just got the top of the strike zone.
Popped up, shallow right field. Who's going to get it?
What
What a play by Garcia. He saved a run that kept it tied. What a play by the first baseman, Luis Garcia Jr.
Yeah, folks, you don't know how hard a play that is. You're at a dead sprint, kind of catch it over your head. Boy, what a big play. Yeah, the Yankees put this thing away in the bottom.
Well, Paul, we knew that Garcia could hit, but the returns on him as a defender, not that great. This was a great play.
It was a great play, and the situation of the game makes it even a bigger play because this ball falls in. You've got to run, and you don't know what's going to happen if this inning continues, but just a dynamite play by Garcia Jr. Just tough to dead run over your shoulder. Game on the line. Nobody else had a chance. And what a smile.
And you can see the reactions of the fans down the right field line. People were astonished because that looked like it was headed for grass and would have been a run. So he'll be the guy who starts at second base. He's the Manfred man as he made the final out of the ninth inning.
Well, Caballero can really handle the bat, so you wonder if you know, you even try to shoot the ball to the right side, or you know, push bunt, drag bunt, anything. He's got a lot of options here.
Tyler Kinley comes on. They're in at the corners waiting for the bunt. And then the old inside move. And he kind of flailed at it as he tried to bunt in the count 0-1.
It looked like Riley was going towards the bag, and this is a slider away. He was trying to actually pull that ball down to the third baseman, but the ball's out of the strike zone.
Riley almost shaking hands with him, and he swings and misses. They took the bunt off with Olsen. Right down his face.
Again, I mean, a good idea, but the ball in the other batter's box. I mean, you've got to have something to work with. And again, he's got to try to get a bunt down.
And he strikes out. Foul ball off with 2 strikes, and the foul is a bunt. Then you strike out. That is a huge strikeout.
Yeah, it's not how you drew it up. You know, he seemed like the right guy to have up there at this time, and right here, he's just really jabbing at the ball, not able to get a bunt down.
Now they intentionally walk Spencer Jones. First and second, 1 out, and that brings up the youngster George Lombard. Chance to be a hero. He started the Yankee rally with one out in the 9th inning, an infield single that Iglesias threw away, putting Lombard on third. He scored on Wells's double. And then later in the inning, Rice doubled off the wall on right to tie the game. We're at 2-2, bottom of the 10th. One and one. Three hits and 10 at bats in his young big league career. Two and one. Garcia at second. Jones is at first.
Well, Kenley's thrown nothing but sliders. That was a backup there, but sliders away seems to be what he wants to get right-handers hitters out with.
3-1 on Lombard.
Well, you got to stay in the strike zone here. Don't assume that he's going to come right after you.
Fouled straight back.
Boy, a good pitch to hit and a good swing. Just fouled it straight back. Again, the slider right on it.
Chance for the kid to be a hero. Give the Yankees a much-needed victory. The payoff. They walked him. A lot of poise. And the bases are loaded for McMahon.
Wow, this is what the Yankees needed. And right there, Kenley doesn't look like he wants to throw that slider over. And now he's going to have to change things with a lefty coming up. Slider away from righties. It's going to be a slider into a lefty. Don't know whether he wants to challenge him there. Any kind of contact, anything. McMahon can get this ball at the infield. Yankees go home with a win.
Here comes Walt Weiss. Looks like he's going to bring in a fifth infielder. He tossed a glove, an infielder's glove. So Dubon will be the fifth infielder, and he's obviously can play anywhere. So there'll be two outfielders. They'll be stationed in left center and right center. Harris in left center, Acuna in right center, and Dubon will be the fifth infielder as the Yankees have the bases loaded, McMahon at the plate. Braves have won 8 in a row. Yankees trying to snap that, get back on the winning side themselves. So with the lefty batter up, they'll have 3 infielders on the right side. Infield in, bases loaded, 1 man out. Bottom of the 10th inning, 2-2 game. Outfielder shallow. 0-1. You're an outfielder in this situation. You come in as far as you could make the throw to get somebody out. Anything over your head would win the game anyway.
Boy, a hanging slider right there, Michael, was a pitch that could easily have ended this game. Got to keep battling here.
Oh, 0-2.
Kenley loves that slider. He could bury one of those down and in the dirt. So if you're Garcia, you got to kind of anticipate this ball and hope that he can bounce one.
The 0-2. 1-2 on McMahon. McMahon been on base 3 times tonight. A walk, a single, and a double. Struck out in his other time. Yankees down 2-0 in the bottom of the 9th. They tie it, now trying to win it in the bottom of the 10th. And the pitch. 2-2, trying to tie up McMahon.
Kinley, to me, looks like one of those guys that wants the hitter to leave the strike zone, doesn't really want to throw strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. No place to put McMahon. A 3-2 count. That's the guy that counts. Garcia at third with the winning run. Popped up foul. Riley gives it a look, but it's in the seats about 5 rows back. And the payoff. High fly ball, deep right field. This should do it. Acuna back. He'll make the catch. Garcia tags. Here's the throw. Not nearly in time. And the Yankees win a much-needed game. A walk-off sac fly. And in 10 innings, the Yankees come back to win it 3-2. Oh, did they need that?
Well, that's a big-time win. I mean, Max Fried started it off, gave him a great performance. And the Yankees offense went into the ninth. Everybody thought they were dead. They fought back. Great at-bats down the line from McMahon in the ninth to end this thing. But a huge win for the Yankees.
The big at-bats, the Wells double, that got the first run in. And then the biggest at-bat was Ben Rice with 2 outs, hitting one off the wall to tie the game.
Yeah, there's been some people at the top of the lineup struggling. McMahon lately has been swinging the bat really well. A great at bat from being down 0-2, fighting back to 3-2, got a slider, ended the game. See you tomorrow on the Old Timers Day, Michael.
Well, the Yankees really needed that one. To lose this game 2-0, to have their offense so anemic, continue to be unable to score, but then they scratch back. And they get the 2 runs in the bottom of 9th inning against a pretty good reliever. And then to win it here in the bottom of the 10th inning, they have not been experts in extra innings this year, but they now go to 2-8, and the Yankees break an 8-game winning streak of the Braves. And McMahon had a pretty good night, picks up the winner.
Yeah, you can't say enough about fighting back against a good team, too, and a good bullpen, 3rd best in the major league. So kudos to the Yankees for coming back and beating the Braves tonight here on Friday night.
So McMahon with the winner. He's downstairs with Meredith Maragovitz.
Thanks, Michael. Ryan, you come up to the plate there in the 10th with the opportunity to be the hero. Bases loaded. Getting a little jumpy over here. You know what's coming. He's trying to trick you back there.
No, good win by the boys. A lot of good at-bats down the stretch, and we found a way to get it done.
Your at-bat in particular, what's your approach there?
Just trying to grind it out. Just trying to grind it out. He made a couple good pitches on me early, and we just got into a battle and got it done.
You look at that 9th inning, runs hard to come by prior to that. Just how much credit do you give George Lombard for just getting on base there and kind of starting things off?
That's a tough at bat, man. For a rookie against a wily veteran like Kinley, man, that was really impressive.
What did you think of the team defensive effort on the whole?
What was that?
The team defense tonight on the whole.
I thought we did pretty good. Made some good big plays, and just got to make outs.
And pitching once again standing out. You had a good view to watch Max Fried go to work. What did you think of his stuff tonight?
Yeah, Max, man, he gave us an awesome effort out there, and that's what Nace does.
Ryan, congratulations.
All right, thanks.
Send it back up to you, Michael.
Thank you, Meredith, and thank you to Ryan. So the celebration is on. The Yankees were staring defeat right in the eyes, and they said, nope, not tonight. So they cool off the Braves, and McMahon gets cooled off as well.